Hold on to your butts, this is Optimal Play. I'm Brandon, and I am here to play Roll or Stand Jurassic Adventures, a print and play roll and write that is campaign and sort of narrative based, clearly inspired by a movie a lot of us have probably seen. It's by PO Games, and it is on Kickstarter Tuesday. What date is Tuesday? March 5th, I think. March 4th. Tuesday, March 4th. Alright, this video is off to a fantastic start. PO Games provided me a digital copy of Roll or Stand Jurassic Adventures, and my employer provided me the resources to print it so I could play it. They may or may not know that. So, this is actually pretty topical for me. I just the other day got back from a trip to Hawaii where Jurassic Park was filmed. I didn't go on that particular tour, but I was on the Big Island and saw the active volcano erupting there at Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. So that was awesome. Definitely got me in the mood for this. It also got me a little bit of a cold that I came home with, so we're gonna see how my voice does here as I make it through this video. I might be clearing my throat and stuff a little bit more than usual, so apologies for that. It hasn't stopped me from drinking a seltzer. You know, any good board game needs something to wet your whistle. So, let's dive into Jurassic Adventures. This is a solo or cooperative roll and write, and it is on, I would say, the heavier side. I've played a practice game of it, learned the rules and everything. Definitely a little bit of a brain burner, but once you get into kind of the flow, it's not too tough. And it is campaign driven. So the first thing that I'm going to have us take a look at, actually, let me be a good YouTuber and suggest that you like this video. Subscribe to Optimal Play if you haven't. It really helps us out a lot if you hit those buttons, and we really appreciate it. Now, the campaign. It's got some narrative here, then we're going to choose a difficulty level, and then we won't look ahead at the rest of this because these are the outcomes of each of the three scenarios and what happens in the story and mechanically from there. So, many have dreamt of de-extinction before, but few have pursued it as passionately as Dr. Edmund Franklin. While earlier efforts focused on DNA recovery, ultimately hampered by the degradation of genetic material, Dr. Franklin turned to genetic engineering. After years of dedicated research on a remote island, he succeeded in modifying the DNA of modern birds, creating creatures that resembled their dinosaur ancestors. With their appearance established, Dr. Franklin's team of scientists and mercenaries was tasked with training the creatures to mimic dinosaur behavior. However, progress has stalled, raising concerns about the effectiveness of their training methods. Dr. Franklin now turns to you, animal behaviorists from diverse academic backgrounds. He asks that you develop a behavior modification plan to help these creatures reconnect with their evolutionary roots. Additionally, he expects you to collaborate with his team to support the cause. After weeks of preparation, the day has arrived for you to travel to Isla Recuerdos, home of these remarkable creatures. As your helicopter lifts off, your anticipation grows. So it's, very Jurassic Park inspired. It's not they found the DNA in mosquitoes trapped in amber. They created these dinosaurs, sort of created the forms of them first, and now they need to be trained in their behavior. So I'm not sure what that means in the story for sort of how do they behave now, because in movies and things, dinosaurs already behave in pretty unpredictable and scary ways, I would say. So what they're doing here, we'll have to find out, see what we get from that in the first scenario, I guess. I definitely think that's the most interesting thing about sort of the setup here. So we go in here to select our difficulty. There's sort of, I don't know if it's difficult to basically 1, 2, or 3. I'm not sure if they have names. I'm going to go ahead and play on the easiest difficulty. I did play a practice game of this. I did not win that practice game, so I'm not feeling the need to bump up the difficulty for myself much at all. So what this says is that each player is going to gain 1 of each tool and 5 ideas. And then this is the last thing we'll need this campaign sheet for until we find out whether we are successful, meaning we can complete all 4 of the puzzles on the roll and write page. If we're delayed, which means in the case of a solo game that we completed 3 of them. In a cooperative game, it would look at how many puzzles, like in a 3-player game, there would be 12 of these puzzles, and you would need to complete 9 to 11 in that example for this delayed. And then failure, if I complete less than 3, it looks, I can see down, without even looking too closely, you can see that you lose the campaign when that happens. So hopefully that is not the case here. Okay, so I've actually gone ahead. Hopefully you can see them here. There's a lot going on this little sheet. I'm using an erasable blue pen that I love for roll and writes. But I have circled one of each of these 3 tools, journals, binoculars, and machetes, and 5 ideas, these light bulb symbols. So now I'm ready to start the game. I just need a pen, 2 dice. In this case, I have a little tray to roll them into. This is a stack of sheets, but it's a stack of the same sheets so that I can protect my table a little bit so that I'm not writing on the neoprene here. So each scenario has sort of 4, the game calls them puzzles, 4 of these hex grid-based tasks that you are using the game's dice system to complete. I'll talk a little bit more about that system. It definitely has a push your luck, almost blackjack inspired sort of, it's where the name roll or stand comes from. I'll circle back to talking about that a little bit more, but let's look at the first puzzle here. It says, as you approach the island, a swarm of pteranodons suddenly attacks your helicopter. You grab your paragliders and leap out, rushing toward the research station while dodging their attacks. You wonder, what's behind their sudden aggression? So we're here to train them, but they seem to be aggressive already. So, and then in the comic here, this paraglider is yelling, "We're here to help, not to harm." I'm not sure how perceptive the pteranodons are to logical arguments, but might as well try, I guess. Okay, so as we read on here, it tells us, has a little X here next to branching off and an X next to touching. So we are going to be drawing lines on this grid, and this tells us that for this particular puzzle, we cannot have those lines branch, and we cannot touch, or lines cannot touch each other. Then it says our goal here is to extend one line from the paraglider start hex, which is this little parachute symbol here, to the research station hex, which we can see up in the upper left corner here. Each time you pass through damage, which we can see these pteranodon hexes with this damage icon bordering some of the sides, you must cross off 1 heart. If all hearts are crossed off, you fail the puzzle. So my goal is to get from here, the parachute, to here, the base, without going through 3 or more of these red attack icons, essentially, damage icons. Okay, so what are we doing to make that happen? We are, excuse me, we are going to be rolling dice and using them in these 2 preparation tables, where, to look at this first one for an example, I need the sum of numbers that I put in this row to not exceed 12. It says here 12 is greater than or equal to the sum of these. I basically bust and have to move on to the next line with very little benefit if I go over 12. Then I'm going to subtract the number here on the right and get to actions to spend up in the puzzles when I do stop filling this row. I'm going to get actions to fill in the puzzle based on the total of the dice minus, in this case, 6. And I'm going to be playing, I can distribute dice into the top row of both of these columns. So they're both kind of going simultaneously, and I'm working my way down both columns. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice for the first round. It's a 6 and a 5. There's one other wrinkle here, this stamina track down here. So essentially, we can only roll each number a certain amount of times. You can see here that the stamina says 1, it has 3 stamina blocks, 2 stamina blocks, and it varies down this row. Each time we roll dice, we're going to mark them off. So I'm going to mark off a 5 and a 6. And if that number didn't have any more spaces to mark in the current stamina row, then you actually decrease the die as much as you need to reach a valid one. So you actually, the dice are not as... The outcome is that the dice kind of become almost less random as it goes on, because I can see, for example, that a 4 is going to be impossible to roll at certain points, and I can strategize accordingly. And then when I've completed marking off all of the stamina in a row, you just continue playing, but you start using the second row, and so on down here. The game ends if we max out stamina all the way down this entire chart. The other things going on here are tools, which we can spend to draw some specific extra lines in the puzzles, and ideas that we can use to manipulate a die plus or minus 1. The first puzzle, the only one that we've talked about, is the only active puzzle. We have to resolve that, whether it's with success or failure, before we can move on to the second, and then the third, and then the fourth, eventually. Okay, so all that I have to decide now is which of these columns to put a 6 in and which one to put a 5 in. I mean, the numbers are pretty similar to one another, so I'm not feeling too... I don't want to dwell on this for too long. 15 is the higher limit on this side, so let me put the 6 there and the 5 here. And that is that turn. I'm going to go again until I'm ready to stand to stop risking going bust in one of these rows, and then I'll resolve it and interact with the puzzles. So 1 or 2 more rolls before that happens. A 1 and a 2. Okay, this is good because for reasons I'll show you when I get there, you also want a variety of numbers in these rolls. So I'm going to put... I learned when I practiced this that it's good to have numbers that are adjacent to each other. Again, I'll get to that in a second. So I'm going to put the 1 over here and the 2 here, which means I'm kind of throwing that on those being adjacent to each other, but what are you going to do? So I'm at 7, where I can go up to 12 here on the left, so I'm feeling like I'm not, as long as I don't roll 2 6s, then I'm not risking going bust there. And I'm only at 7 out of 15 on the right. So here we go, another roll. Another 6 and a 5. Ooh, okay, it's going to be time. I can't put a 6 safely on the left, so I better put the 5 there. And that gets a perfect 12. Before I resolve that row, though, I am going to use the 6. I think that this is going to be, well, yeah, I think this row is going to be a lot more useful if I make it a 5. So I'm going to use one of my ideas to turn that 6 into a 5. And that does a couple things. Now I'm at 12 out of 15, so I'm a little bit safer to keep rolling. And also, it's another unique number, which is useful. And let's look at that now, because I'm going to choose to stand here on my left preparation section. What that means is that I'm going to resolve this row right now, and then when I roll dice for next turn, I will start on the next row here. So what I'm going to do is mark off this 12 just to show that that row is used. And I'm going to take this total, 12 minus 6, and write a 6 here. That's how many actions I get to take. So you want that number to be as high as possible. But then also, the main thing you do with those actions is draw lines, and you can only draw them in these directions on this little compass that you have numbers in here for. So I can only draw lines in the direction of 2, which is to the upper right, and 5, which is to the upper left. That's not great. I don't feel very good about that at all, actually. So I think I need to spend 2 actions in order to add 1. So I have 6 actions. I can spend 1 action to draw a line segment. I can also spend 2 actions to kind of activate another one of these directions. I think I really need this 6 to be active, so I'm going to spend 2 there. I also found the rules don't mention this, but I found that it's kind of helpful to like track my action uses maybe with tally marks on the side there, so I've used 2 of them. Okay, so now I can go to the upper right, which doesn't really get me towards the base at all. But I can go to the upper and lower left. So I'm thinking I might just take 1 damage, and that should be okay. And I'm going to just kind of bounce to the left here. So when I do that, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 segments. That's how many remaining actions I had. So those are all spent. This hex here has a number 1 and a binoculars. I earn that binocular tool if I border one side of that hex with my line. So that would be nice to do as I'm passing through there. I'll see if I can pull it off. The other thing that happens as I resolve this row, actually, and I should have done this a moment ago, is I gain a benefit for the rightmost, the icon. It's small here. I'm not sure how well these are playing on camera, but it's the rightmost icon that I marked. So that was a journal, so I gain a journal. What these let you do is draw extra lines. So like I find that it helps me complete a puzzle without spending an entire extra row there if I'm really close, or it can help me navigate a little bit better if I don't have the numbers I need. So I'm just going to save those for now. I'm not going to use any this time through. Oh, I should also mark off 1 of these hearts since I did go through a damage on there. Okay. My voice is hanging in okay so far. All right, so with that, you've basically seen the rules of this game. I am going to continue like this, going through the 4 puzzles, hopefully completing at least 3 of them, ideally 4. So the next roll will be a 4 and a 4, but we only have 1 stamina in 4, so one of these 4s goes down the track and becomes a 3. 3 is perfect, right? Because we had 12 out of 15 here, so I'm just gonna, without thinking too hard, put the 3 there, and then the 4 over here. I start in the next row. You always have to spend the dice 1 in each column, so I didn't have the option to put it in, say, the second row here, or anything like that. All right, so I have 15 out of 15. I am definitely standing over here. I've gotten perfect values so far. I am going to mark off this row. I gain a machete, which is the tool marked there. And I have 15 minus 9 is 6 actions using the 6, the 1, the 5, and the 3 directions. I don't think I'm using the 3, but the rest of these seem really solid. I think I can just draw 6 lines here really smoothly. This is going well. I want to pick up this binocular, so I'm going to go 1, 2. But then I can go up, since I have the 1 direction, 3, 4, 5, I guess 6. Okay, so I'm really just a straight shot up here to complete the puzzle. It's an option to do that right now with tools, and then I can be on to the next one. I didn't really try that kind of thing when I played this game earlier. Oh, I should, by the way, claim the binocular that I got there. So I have 2 of every tool. So I could use the journals you use to draw a vertical line. That's what they do. And then the binoculars draw a line facing kind of to the upper right, and the machetes go to the upper left. So I could go like up, left, up. Oh, I can't quite. I'm 5 spaces away. I would need 3 journals. I have to go up 3 times. Okay, so never mind. I can't do it with just tools. Let me keep rolling. A 3 and a 2. So the 2, I have stamina for. The 3, there's no stamina. 2, still no stamina, so that slides all the way down and becomes a 1. We have just a 2 and a 1. A 1 is nice because it's the direction that we need to go so many times. It's up. So I think that this puzzle on this row on the left is the one I most likely want to get. I want to spend on this puzzle to complete it. So let me throw that 1 over here and the 2 there. Okay. So one thing I've noticed, I can see the only stamina remaining is 6 and 1. So no matter what I roll, it would become 6 and 1. So there we are, 6 and 1, and we'll be down to our next stamina row next time. I'm at 5. 6 would put me at 11 on here, and I can throw the 1 in there. I'm at a fresh, clean slate. I think I'm fine rolling. I'm at 11 out of 14. I'm risking going bust, but as long as I roll a 1, 2, or 3, and I can use ideas if I really need to, I should be fine. And I'd really like to get that 2 direction so that I can get all the way up there. So let's roll a 2. That's the plan. It's 4s, using both of the 4 stamina. Yikes, that would bust me here, so I've got to use at least 1 idea. Let's see. I definitely need to go in... I need to go in that 2 direction at least once to get there. This is where it gets tricky, is the resource management. I could use it... So I definitely need to use an idea to make that 4 a 3, so I don't go bust. But I could use another idea to make it a 2 so that I get the direction that I need and don't have to use any tools. Or I could just use a tool and save an idea. I think the ideas are really strong because they're sort of your only resource that stops you from busting in this push your luck game. So I think I want to spend a tool to save an idea. Okay, so I will use an idea to make a 4, a 3. And I'm not really thinking very hard about this right now. The second puzzle, I know you kind of branch out and all directions are pretty useful, so I'm just going to put that 4 over here and then think about this. So I'm going to stand on this row, resolving it now, I'm going to get a binocular because that's what I marked on the rightmost. I then have 4, 5, 11, 14 minus 8 is 6 actions. And I can go in the directions marked 1, 6, 3, and 4. 3 and 4 are pretty useless. But if I go, let's see, 1 and 6. So I can go 1, 2 actions. That's the direction of 6. 3 actions. I'm going to pause there and kind of track that I've used 3. Because I guess I just want to... Well, wait. Yeah. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. I have the most binoculars, so I'm happy to use binoculars. Mark that one as used. And that lets me draw a line going to the upper right. So I get to go there. And then I can go up with a 4th action. Boom. Okay. I have 2 actions left, so I could have just marked that 2, but then I wouldn't have had quite enough actions to draw those lines. So I think I'm wasting a couple here. But I'm okay with completing this using 3 rows. Seems like kind of par. So I'm alright with that. And I only used 1 tool. I did go through a second damage, so I got a second heart marked off, but it doesn't matter because I've completed the puzzle by drawing 1 line from the parachute to the base, only going through 2 damage. So I get to circle that as complete. Let's go ahead and take a look at puzzle number 2. You reach the research station only to find it abandoned and in ruins. There's no one around, and it's clear the staff left in a hurry. To find out what happened, you power up the computer and begin extracting the last communication logs. This better be worth the wait. Alright, so we cannot branch off or touch again. And now we are starting at the folder hex in the middle, but you can see that it has 4 lines that we can draw lines out from. The task says, extend up to 4 regular lines from the folder start hex and activate 6 log file bonus hexes. So all these little hexes with, again, I'm not sure how, these are very small symbols, I'm not sure how they're reading on camera, but there's basically like a document icon or something there. You claim those just like you do, just like I did the binoculars here, by bordering the indicated number of sides of those hexes. So I need to claim 6 log file hexes that way. There's also some ideas to get out there. Okay. Unfortunately, you don't actually get to start using this puzzle until you freshly stand and resolve a new row in a preparation. So I can't just like start spending the remaining actions there. They are wasted. At least that's my understanding. Hopefully PO Games can let us know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think I understood that right from the rules. And so that's what we're focused on. But we go, oh, let me mark this off just so that at a glance, that row is done. And I am going to keep rolling. We can't roll 4s anymore, for what that's worth, because they are both marked off in our stamina. And it's 2 3s, also marking off 2 of the 3 3s that can come up on this row. So, we've got 7 so far here. 3 would make it 10. So I should probably just put a 3 here and resolve that row. I don't think I want to push my luck and need a 1 and end up rolling like 5s and wasting a bunch of ideas. And then I can just put the other 3 here. I don't think there's any need to manipulate that. Okay, so let's stand on this row. 2, 3 plus 4 is 7. 3 is 10. 10 minus, so that doesn't bust. 10 minus 4 is 6. I've gotten 6 actions every single time. Let's mark this off, and I get a journal from where I marked. Okay, so 6 actions, and I have the 1, 2, 3, and 4 directions active. Okay, so we're going this way. Excuse me. Alright, so there's a 2 and a 3 here. 3, a 5 to get there, but a 1 there. If I can get like up here, go 3 around there, I can claim that idea and get that. I can't branch these lines. So I can start 4 different lines, but I cannot then branch them out. So that makes it a little tricky to get like this 3, this one that requires 3. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that. It does seem like I could really well go 2 along there. This one takes 3, and if I go around it this way, that's 3. Then I could loop over to that 1. that seems like a pretty clearly good direction to go. So let me do that here. I think I can just, yeah, go all the directions I need there, basically. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those will be my 6 actions. I claimed 2 of the 6 logs that I need with that. All right, back to rolling. 2 and a 5. We have the stamina for that. Okay. What do we like with these numbers? I think, I don't really want this to have the 2 and the 3 kind of dead ending me against that same wall, I don't think. And so why don't I put the 5 over here and the 2 here. A 4 and a 1. The 4 slides down and becomes a 3. And we have the stamina for a 1. So 3 and a 1. I mean, a 3 doesn't fit over here. It would have to become a 2. I think that's fine. Or rather, sorry, 2. I think I'll use an idea. Because I think I'm going to get probably some ideas on this puzzle. Whew. So here it's like, do I spend an idea just to gain an action, basically, by making this 1 or 2? I think it's also a better direction, because I could go, I don't know, 1 lets me go up. Up's a pretty good direction. That's tricky. So, okay. I'm going to put the 3 over here. So that's decided. The question is, am I using an idea to make this 1 a 2? I would get an additional action and have access to the upper right direction instead of the vertical direction. I think I'll do it. Why not? Let's live a little. Okay, so 10. Or so I'm going to resolve this row. I have 10. Minus 3 is 7 actions this time, but I can only go towards 3, 5, and 2. And I can use 2 actions to buy another direction if I need it. I also got a machete. The tools, like, I'm trying to figure out whether this game... I think this game in general makes it harder for you to gain ideas than the tools. You would think that the tools are more valuable because they represent an action kind of your choice almost. It's almost like a wild action. Not really, but as long as you use it at an opportune time, right? It's really beneficial. The idea is, though, the game, I think, makes it a little harder to get to. You actually only get one if you're in the left, if you stop on a row with only marking 2 numbers, which at first I interpreted to mean that, like, they're not as good, but that almost never happens. That's actually pretty unlikely that you want to do that, and so maybe they're actually harder to get there. And then the numbers you need on these hexes to gain ideas here, 5 sides bordered. It's pretty nuts. But anyway, I spent one. So 7, let's see. I think I'm going to... I think I'm going to need... I think my plan is to go around this idea, gaining that 3rd log, and also eventually gaining the idea. It might not be now. But so I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 action going that way. I'll go ahead and use a journal for a vertical line. And then a 2nd action this way. But I don't have that direction active. So let me, before I spend 2 actions to activate a direction I want or use more tools, why don't I look at my other options? I can, I think it would be good to get a line drawn here. There's 2 log files here that only require 1. Those seem worth picking up. So that's a 3rd action used. And then if I'm grabbing these 3 log files, these ones, that's 5 out of 6. What's the other one I'm grabbing? Probably just this one. That seems easiest. So why don't I work on that? I've got 1, 2, 3 valid actions there. I have 1 action left. I don't want to waste it. And it is useful. Okay, so I'm going to spend another journal to draw a vertical line, and then I can go there. All right. This is what I'm talking about, that this game's a little brain burny. That was pretty in-depth, and I think to really optimally play this, you need to be thinking ahead on that stuff for when you're rolling the dice and distributing your numbers. I don't think I'm there, and I don't feel like I'll be at that level particularly soon, because I can look at these puzzles and think of generally the direction I want to go, but every point on those dice matters a lot in a way that I sort of have to just roll the dice, place them, and hope for the best a little bit, because it would, especially when I'm playing on video, but even when I'm not playing on video, I think it would just make the game too much of a slog, at least with the level that I have it grokked. Maybe you can get there, or maybe you're interested in spending a lot of time thinking about this game. The challenge is there. The question is whether I want to invest in it. That's my question for right now. Okay. Did I write my number on the right? A good double check is, are there an equal number in them? 3, 7, 10, 4, 8, 10. Yeah, okay. So we're good. I'm ready to roll. 6 and a 1. I've got the stamina for those. Okay, so I'm gonna complete this. I want to run down here and up there, basically. I'm definitely gonna want the 1 over here, because I think that this is the row that I will be completing that puzzle with, hopefully. So let me throw the 1 there and the 6 here. And we'll roll again. See, now I know that I can't get 1s, 3s, and 4s. I'm not that close to busting, but I can consider that, like, oh, the dice are going to be mostly 5s and 6s. That's going to be scary. Which is a neat system. Okay, so I rolled a 5, and I rolled a 1. I don't have that stamina. It loops around to 6. So this is a 6 and a 5. I think I will put the 6 here, because I'd like to vary up the numbers, but whew, boy, that really made these get up there fast. I'm at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 already on this row. I guess I better resolve it. I can't roll a 1, so I would definitely bust if I don't do that row. So let's go ahead and do it. This is 5, 6, 12 minus 7 is 5 actions, and I gain binoculars. I think I will have to use some tools here, but I have access to the 1, 2, 3, and 6 directions. Excuse me. All right, so easy. I can just use 1 action to draw a line. I have that direction, and I get that log file. I think that's as far as I care to go here. There's an idea, but that would be 4 more moves to get to it. And then what I really want to do is this. Get down. Actually, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I need this one too. Okay, well, I have the 6 direction, so let me use a second action and do that. That gets me that one. So that's 4 out of 6. So I think I want to get those, and also make sure I want to use 1 more move to get this idea. I have 4 out of 5 sides on that hex marked. So I will, the thing is, I can't go down. I don't have the 4 direction. I also won't be able to do that, but I have a lot of binoculars. I don't really want to use my last... Yeah, I don't really want to use my last my last journal to draw that vertical line, so I think I'm going to use... maybe I'm doing it no matter what. 2 actions here. Yeah, I don't have enough. Alright, I'll go ahead and use 2 actions to activate the 4 direction. Use my 5th action to draw that line. So that gets this log, and then I need to go either of these ways. Oh, wait. This is where I'm going to back up. Maybe I do spend that. Maybe I just spend less to... Oh no, this erasable pen is not erasing as well as I wanted. Yeah, let me have spent a journal to draw that vertical line. And then I can go this direction to get that log, which I have access to. That's 3. And then I can go this direction to get that idea, which I really wanted to claim there. Okay. I'm going to be honest. I think I just used 4 actions of the 5 as a result of that. I'm a little unsure as I erased and retconned that a little bit, but I'm wasting the 5th one. So whether I have one left or not here doesn't matter. I've marked off 6 of the log files, and I claimed an idea in the process, and I've succeeded at that puzzle. So that's good. Like I said, I'm kind of still right on par, right? Doing 3 of these rows per puzzle. I'm close to having to resolve this next row. So let's look at puzzle 3. You've discovered that the staff relocated to a remote outpost. As you leave the research station, a fierce pack of... oh man, I'm not good at dinosaur names. Dionychuses surrounds you. To escape their razor-sharp claws, you decide to split up and hurry to the new location. I have, yeah, I'm still not sure what to make of this storyline. Is it the dinosaurs are acting weird? But at least based on, media, movies and stuff, dinosaurs are aggressive. So it doesn't surprise me that the pack of these little dinos would have surrounded us. So are they acting weird or are they acting dinosaur-like? And I thought that our mission was to come train them to be dinosaur-like, but they're acting like that already. I don't know. I'm not sure whether I'm just not quite clicking with the story or whether there's more to it to be revealed, because there's a total of 3 scenarios where there'll be 4 story beats on each one. We'll see. Anyway, to escape the razor-sharp claws, you decide to split up and hurry to a new location. So here, we still cannot branch off or touch lines. It says the goal is to extend 3 regular lines from the team start hex here in the center to the outer edges of the grid. Regular lines that have already touched the outer edge may be touched by traced lines. Traced lines can continue after touching a regular line. So this introduces a new thing, which is reactions and traced lines. Because we have this exclamation point on the puzzle, we know that we have to use the reaction mechanic. After I resolve a row with this puzzle, then the dotted lines here, that's another thing that I'm not sure how well they're playing on camera, but basically each of these 5 dinosaurs has a dotted line kind of out from it, and it's going to look down. You'll see how it works, but basically the dinosaurs are going to extend these lines here that are going to eventually close off my routes to draw 3 lines to the edge, which is my objective. So I need to carefully make sure that I'm drawing those lines to the edge without the dinosaurs closing off my escape routes. And already I know that the number 1 and the number 2 dinosaurs are going to extend their lines a lot because I put big numbers in those columns. That's how that works. So I'm going to have to aim for these directions, I think. Okay, so it's time to roll dice. A 3 and a 4 are both going to slide down and become 2s because of the stamina system. And we know the next roll will be a 5 and a 6. So 2 and 2. I have 11 here already. Oh boy. So I'm going to have to act on this one because the 2 is going to leave me at 13 out of 15, and I know that I'm rolling a 5 and a 6 and I would go bust. So I definitely want to put it here. I think though, I don't love these numbers, but I think I would love to just beeline kind of like, can I get 1, 2, 3, 4? Do we think I can claim that machete and... I'm gonna... no. Oh boy. My directions are not good for this, so... Maybe I can't. Maybe I need to go the directions that 6 and 5 mean I'm going this way. Maybe I need to make my way down to here with this one. In which case, let's see. I've got 2 2s, huh? I should have changed the dice so I don't forget this. Do I want to use any ideas to give myself access to, like, the down direction would be pretty useful, and I don't have any journals. I think I better. I'm going to use 2 ideas to make this to a 4, which also maximizes my actions, so that's good. But that's pretty scary. And then I'll write a 2 over here. I'll worry about that row later. Okay, so I've got 15. Oh, I did get a journal from this row, thank goodness. And 15 minus 9 is 6 actions, and I have access to the 4, 5, and 6 directions. Okay, so it's pretty clear that I am going to go over here. So 6 actions, can I get there? I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's one of the 3 lines I needed to draw. So I'm on that same, like, kind of 3 rows, 3 per puzzle pace, I guess. Although I didn't have to focus on one line, I guess, with this row. I could have split it up, but it worked out well enough that I'm feeling good about that one. Okay. Again, I cannot branch off of this row. I need to start fresh ones to get to the edges otherwise. But first, this is where I run into problems. We have to do the reaction. So, dinosaur number 1 is going to advance its line 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And since I can't touch lines, that completely blocks off the top side of this map. Dinosaur number 2 is going to move its line 5. That almost blocks that side off. I can still get there, which I guess will be my objective. And then dinosaur number 3 will move 4 spaces. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I still have time to get down there too, but I really need to... I think it's likely... So dinosaur number 5 only kind of closes off its area if you use the 5th column, which, as you can see, I haven't yet done at any point. So that seems to be... I'm going to try to race over here, maybe see if I can pick up that machete on the way, and make a run for that one. That's probably my way to succeed at this puzzle. But I don't need to roll the dice. I know that my next roll is 5, 6, so thank you, stamina system. We have a 5 and a 6. So if I want to get here, the 2 is great. A 3 would be even better. I obviously can't. I don't want to spend a bunch of ideas to turn these into a 3, so I'm just going to put the 5. Let's see. I'm definitely going to want the 6 over here to make my way up there. And that leaves the 5 over here. Jeez, okay. Alright, well, we're on a fresh stamina roll. Anything is possible with this roll, and it's a 4 and a 1. Interesting. So, 4 is great for using this one. Let's see, 6. Not really. I think I want the 1 over here. Right? Because that's the vertical direction, which to get out here, that's kind of, I'm planning on this row being how I make it there now. So that's the 1. So then the 4 goes here? Yeah, that's fine. I'm at 11 out of 12 there now. Is it time to go? I guess it is. Oh no. I'm not happy with the directions that I have access to, but I can use some machetes. Jeez. Alright, let's do it, I guess. I don't want to count on rolling a 1. So I will use this row. I'm going to gain a machete. And I have 11 minus 6 is 5 actions. I have access to the 2, 4, and 5 directions, which is not ideal. So I think I do think I can pick up this machete though. Which is good because I'm going to use a lot of machetes to get that lower right direction that I need several of to escape this side of the map. Wait, I have 4. It can take me down. Is there any world where I go this way? Yeah, I think that's better. What if I went... I would have to use extra machetes to get this machete, so I guess that's not happening. Let me just go this way. I can use a 4 to go down. I have the 5 to go lower left, 4 to go down. I use 1 machete to go lower right, and then I go down. That's the second line out, and I've used 4 actions, which means if this is helpful, I could draw 1 more line. I'm not... Well, okay. I don't know if I'm going to go out this way or this way for my last escape, but I guess I will draw a line there since I have the action. Okay, back to dice rolling. A 1 and a 4, again. Okay. No more 1s or 4s for a while. I'm at 7. A 4 here is perfect for the number, so I guess I'll do that and throw the 1 here and hope that I like those directions all right. So this is going to give me first binoculars from the track. 7, 11, minus 5 is 6 actions, and I have access to up, down, and upper left. So if I go upper left, up, left, I pretty much need 2 lower left. Would need to use 2 tools over here. What about here? And can I grab this machete? I'm gonna have to use some tools to do it. I can't go to the right at all. All right, it's gotta be to the left here, I think. Yeah, I don't think that this is, I don't think I'm grabbing any of these tools. Okay, so I have 5 actions. I can go left, up, left, down left is going to cost me binoculars because I don't have access to that direction. Or wait, I had 1 line. No, I didn't have 1 line drawn in there, right? Yeah. Okay. So I've used 3 and binoculars, and then I can go upper left and 1 more binoculars. Gets me there. All right. Again, I've wasted some actions. I don't know if that's indicative of poor gameplay, but. I'm happy. We're officially, so like I said, I played a practice game of this off camera. I'm officially doing better. It took me more than an average of 3 rows per puzzle to get this far. So I'm on a good pace maybe to win. I have used a lot of tools here though. That's probably why. I think last time I had more tools at the end. This time I'm a little more strategic with how I'm using them. Okay. Oh wait, let me double check. I just realized that when I did this row, I forgot to do the reactions. So let me make sure that didn't ruin things for me. So dinosaur number 1 can't move any further. Dinosaur number 2 moves 5 spaces, it reaches the end of its line there. Dinosaur number 3, it extends its line, but thankfully, okay, so that didn't matter. I escaped in the right order for that to not screw me over. Okay, technically I think maybe I still resolve those also, but it's not relevant, so let's move on to puzzle number 4. Nearly out of stamina, you reach the outpost, but your knocks and shouts go unanswered. From the log files, you recall that the password always matches the current date. With threats closing in, you try to stay calm and focus on remembering today's date. This is my favorite story beat on this scenario because you're not trying to crack the code. You know that the code is today's date. And you're just trying to remember what day it is today. You know, while you're panicking, it actually says, focus, this can't be how it ends. Dinosaurs are chasing you down. You're just trying to remember what the hell month and day it is. And in fact, what it says here is, check today's date in the format MMDD. So I am recording this on March 2nd. So today's date is going to be 0302. That's the code. Extend up to 6 regular lines from the hand start hex, passing through all 4 numbers in the correct order. You must not pass through unrelated numbers. Each time a number repeats, you must pass through a multiplication sign instead. And it said in the correct order. Okay, so there are numbers kind of on the grid lines here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And there are some multiplication signs around the edges. So I need to go to the 0, and then the 3, and then any of the multiplication signs to act as my second 0, and then the 2. In that order. and not cross through other numbers. Okay, so there's a pretty clear route to the 0, route to the 3. I can't... Oh, I can branch off on this one. Okay, so I can branch off over to the 2. Yes, this one has a check mark. I can branch off my existing lines on this puzzle only. So, okay, I've got a handful of tools, one idea. This is feeling doable-ish. Let's roll the dice and see. I can't roll 1s or 4s, so I hope I don't want to go up or down. Uh-oh. I definitely need to go up and down. I only have one journal. Oof. Okay, I'm going to need a second journal out of this, or to use an idea to make something a 1 or a 4. That's a sticky situation from the stamina system that I literally know that I won't have access to vertical lines. Oh, I also have a 1 in this row already. Okay. Okay, maybe I'm saved. 5 and a 6. All right. That's getting us up there fast. So I need to go to the 0 first, and this is likely to be the next row that I use. So let me put the 5 there, which is the direction taking me towards the 0, and then I'll put a 6 here. Okay. A 1 and a 5. The 1 becomes a 6, so again, I've got 5 and 6. So I'm going to only have 2s and 3s for my next couple rolls. Which means I could put like a 5 here again. Geez, this row is almost done though. Well, okay. I've got a trick here. So, but let me finish my thought here. If I put a 5 here again, I'm at 11 out of 14. I know that a 2 or a 3 is safe. I don't have to stand on this one. Here, that leaves me a 6. But you can use an idea in this game. I feel like this is not that common in roll and writes and board games. You can manipulate a die around from 6 to 1 or 1 to 6. So I'm going to make this 6 with my final idea. No more dice manipulation unless I get any more from these tracks. I'm going to make it a 1, which is going to make it so that I don't approach bustings that quickly on this one. Okay. Here we go. 6 and 1 are both going to slide down and become a 3 and 3. So 3 is the perfect number to reach 14 there. And 3 I have to put there, putting me at 10. So let's stand on this row. That is going to get me a journal. I was saying that was important. And then I have 14 minus 8 is 6 actions with access to up, lower left, and lower right. So I obviously want to get to the 0. There are actually a lot of journals to grab out here too. Just 2 sides of these hexes. They must know... It must be part of the design that you have to do vertical a lot on this. Okay, so I can go... Well, I can't go down without using a journal, so I guess I should use a journal. I have to get to that 0 first. So I'll use a journal to draw a line down, and then I can go lower left. I have to do it again. Use a journal, draw a line down, and then I can go lower left. That gets me this journal. Okay. So I was gonna say maybe I wait and just try to draw that line the old-fashioned way and not have to use another journal. But that's the direction of 4. And I can see that I can't put a 4 in this row. Also, I can't roll a 4. I'm going to roll a 2. So this is kind of my chance. I guess I need to just use that last journal. It's either that or spend actions to buy a new direction. Maybe I do that. Let me erase that. Give me that journal back. I can hold on that. So I've used 2 actions here. I can draw lines up. So I'll use a third one to go up. I'm going to have to go to the 3 next. So, I have plenty of binoculars. I'm going to use a binocular to draw there. I've still only used 3 actions. I can use another one to go up. I can, what do I want to do here? I only have 2 actions left, so I don't want to buy a new direction. I think I'm going to branch off here towards that multiplication symbol, which I'm going to need to be my second 0. So that's a 5th. Is there anything useful I can do with this last action? I guess I just have to... All I can think of is draw a line like here so that in an extreme emergency I could go grab that journal. If it's the only way I can draw a vertical line, I can go over there and get it. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but that is the play I'm making. Okay. It's the final roll of Stamina Row 3. I know that it's 2 and 2, so 2 there. I don't even have any ideas. I am flying by the seat of my pants here. 2 here. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Minus 6 is 6 actions here. I have access to the 6, the 1, the 2, and the 3 directions. Okay. So I feel like I just need to use the journal here. The one that I erased earlier. I'm going to use it after all to get the 0. I'm just going to underline that there to mark that I got it in order. Because then I'm going to go grab the 3, right? I have the numbers to do that. Grab the 3. That was 2 actions. And the 3 I got. And then I can actually get the multiplication sign also, right? Action, action, action. I have all those directions. And that's my 6. Okay, so hit the multiplication sign. That is my second 0. I just have to get to the 2. I'm going to confess here, there's a rules question that I don't know the answer to here. I even sent an email to PO Games about another rules question I had, which was, do you carry unused items forward in the scenario, or in the campaign? I'm not sure about that either. But I forgot to mention this in my email. So I've completed a column. The rules say continue playing on the other column, but it doesn't, I don't think, so, I'm going to pause and double check, but I don't think that it tells me whether I have to place 2 dice, like both dice here, or I keep using 1 die here. So I'm going to glance the rules. It's just going to be an awkward cut because I'm going to pause and then come back to it. So I'm going to double check the rules and see if I can figure it out. Otherwise, I'll just have to make a call. Good news! It's totally clear in the rules and I just missed it. So you do only use 1 die in that column. So that's great. That gives me a lot more flexibility because this has to be the one that gets me that 2. Some more good news. I did not claim the journal that I earned here by bordering 2 sides of that hex, so I have 1 more journal. And also, I never claimed the machete that I got from resolving that preparation row. So I have an extra machete. That is probably unlikely to matter, but we'll take what we can get. Okay, so rolling. Fresh stamina roll. It could be anything. 1 and a 4. Okay. So I don't need the down direction. What I need to do is get either branch here and go to the 2, or up from here and get the 2. So I'm not going to need the 4. I do need the 1, I think, the vertical. Well, I guess it's also an option to go like this and go down. I think I'm more likely to go up. So I'm going to take the 1 and roll again. 2 and 4. This is my last chance to have a 4, but again, I'm not sure I need it. I'm going to take the 2 so that I'm less in danger of going bust since I have 5 out of 10 here. So I'm going to roll 1 more time. Probably my last roll of the game, depending on what number this is. It's 5 or a 2. Okay. 5 is a great... Well, I kind of want it to be a 6. 5 is the right number of actions, and I think I have tools to get myself that direction if I don't have it. So I'm going to, I'll go ahead and I'll take the 5. That's going to get me binoculars. And then I have exactly 10 minus 3 is 7 actions, and I have access to the 1, the 2, and the 5. I think I can do it here. I do need to use some machetes to go to the upper left. I'm hacking away at this keypad. Hacking, except like with a knife. Seems like it's helping. All right, so machete to go upper left, and then 1 action to go up. Machete to go upper left, and finally an action to go up. I guess I also could have had enough actions there that I could have bought the upper left direction. Okay, I've done it. I have completed all 4 puzzles. The game ends. It also was going to end anyway because I had completed my final preparation row. So this was like win or lose depending on whether I could get to that 2 key. The game was ending there no matter what. And I was 3 rolls away from it ending on stamina. So that was pretty eventful. That was fun. I had a great time with that. Let's look at the campaign outcome, see what happens in my story and what would happen next scenario, which is not going to be this video. It's possible I get this back to the table on the channel. Let me know in the comments whether you'd be interested in seeing scenarios 2 and 3 on the channel. Also, this is a print and play. I don't know what the pricing is like, but I assume that in the Kickstarter, it's probably just a few dollars. Maybe you don't want the spoilers and you want to just play it for yourself. You know, sound off in the comments. I'm enjoying this. I'm open to playing more of it. In fact, I'm definitely finishing my campaign. The question is just, is it on camera? Anyway, scenario 1 outcome. So success is defined as all players have successfully completed all their puzzles without failure. Seems like the higher player count you play with, and I think this can go to any number of players. And cooperative, by the way, you can pass tools and ideas back and forth. Like you cross out yours, someone else can gain one. That's the only player interaction. Otherwise, it's just sort of everyone doing this puzzle. So I think, to me, it probably feels best as a solo game. But I don't know. I printed out a few extra copies. I might bust it out at weekly game night this week. My friends love roll and writes like I do. So anyway, all players successfully completed all their puzzles. So I have reached success. Just in time, you recall the date and the gate finally unlocks. You rush inside, quickly sliding the gate shut behind you, narrowly escaping the looming danger. You take a brief moment to calm down and collect your thoughts. So now what happens depends on difficulty. For easy difficulty, which is what I just played, each player gains 1 of each tool, 5 ideas, and either 1 additional tool of their choice or 1 additional idea. I think, now that I'm getting to know the game, I would choose an idea. I think that's actually the most valuable. Cool. So yeah, that is my 1 rules question that I don't currently have an answer to. I shot off an email, but I did it right before recording this video, so it wasn't very helpful. I don't know whether my remaining tools of a journal, 2 binoculars, and 2 machetes, whether those also carry over into the next scenario or not. But yeah, there are 2 more scenarios, and they are similar. 4 puzzles, similar gameplay, but the puzzles, as you could see, present different challenges, different ways that you need to think about the dice. And yeah, I think this game's really cool. This was Roll or Stand Jurassic Adventures. It is on Kickstarter. If you're seeing this video, it's on Kickstarter now. If you are seeing this video in the far future, I'm sure that's come and gone, but it's a print and play that you could probably go to their website and get. I don't actually have that information. Don't hold me to that. But I will link to the Kickstarter in the description. I think this is super clever. I think that this is one of the heavier, more brain-burny kind of like one of these that I've played, but it wasn't too much. I worried it was. I was emailing back and forth with Anton at PO Games, and I think I said that this was maybe the heaviest game of this type that I had played, and I think I stand by that. But I really enjoyed it. Definitely check out their Kickstarter. I highly recommend it, and thank you again, PO Games, for providing this for my playthrough. With that, that's going to be a video. If you haven't hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. That's the only way to help Optimal Play out, if you appreciate the video, because we don't have a Patreon or anything like that. So please do, and I'm back from my trip. I'm getting over my cold. This is actually one of the first videos that has gone up on the channel that was recorded in 2025, because me and the other friends you see on the channel, we did so much recording over like the holiday break and stuff. It was great because with the fires and travel and illness, it was clutch that we had so much in the can. Definitely saved me and kept the channel busy in the meantime. But now I gotta get to recording because I don't have much more in the can. So this is where I would say you can look forward to X and Y videos on Optimal Play. But those are TBD. Guards of Atlantis' new characters are out. We'll definitely be playing some Guards of Atlantis. I have freshly reorganized my Marvel Champions collection, so I expect that on the channel soon too. Lots to look forward to, so join me then, and I'll see you there. Till next time. be optimal.